It truly was a most dramatic way to end an exciting first period. The Capitals score, as we show you with 1 second left of the clock. They'll say it came at the 20-minute mark, and with that very late goal, they have tied up the Pittsburgh Penguins after a while. 20 minutes here on a Sunday afternoon at the Capitol Center. Welcome back to Capitals Hockey on Home Team Sports. I'm Al Koken, joined as usual by Capitals General Manager David Poile. What excitement and what a great play by Kevin Hatcher. Mario Lemieux, arguably the most dangerous player in the game, on a breakaway. Hatcher not only catches him, slows him down, disrupts the shot, but then leads the rush at the other end. Here it is, David.
Well, you talk about a turning point in a game, and I hope this is what they write about tomorrow, because the score could have been 3-1 with us going into the dressing room, as Mario has a breakaway with approximately 15 seconds to go. But Ridley picks up the puck here and gives it back to Kevin, who made the good play on Mario, and I think we'll just let our eyes take us from here. Play to Dino as we see the clock says 3 seconds to go. Now that, from that angle, it's not too clear. I believe we have another angle that shows 1 second to go.
Well, that's the freeze, and then definitely with the puck does hit the back of that net, though, before the clock completely expires. The other bone of contention probably for the Pittsburgh Penguins is that the net was off its moorings before it went in, but once again you can see here the puck is definitely in the net before it comes out, and because of the new rule change in the National Hockey League, because it was a Pittsburgh player that dislodged the net, in this case by sending Kelly Miller into it. We've seen a case that went against the Capitals just recently with a Capital player sending an opposing player in towards the net, and it certainly was given as a goal. So right there, it seems like all the controversy, at least in that regard, has been solved. However, we have the benefit of instant replay. You are a man who I know has advocated at least to take a look at instant replay in the National Hockey League. Does this become Exhibit A for anybody who wants to see instant replay put into the National Hockey League?
Well, I was hoping you'd bring that up, because this is certainly a case in point, because I was going to say that, you know, we've had the benefit of all these great replays and camera coverage and sitting down here and analyzing it for 3 or 4 minutes, and Andy Van Hellemond and his crew on the ice, under protest from 20 onrushing Pittsburgh Penguins players and 20 onrushing Capitals players, had to make a decision basically split second with no replay or what have you. I think, again, all managers, coaches, players, and officials would like to have the replay system introduced. And maybe what like I've said before, that we don't seem to be able to have the technology to duplicate the standards in all arenas. But maybe we should just put it in for situations where we have television coverage, as we do today, and that's probably in close to 90% of our games. And as we can see by the quality of this type of coverage, I think it would be good enough to rule out all but the exceptional situations.
We can't forget the phone calls at area code 301-499-6600. So let's head to the phones. TJ from Germantown, go ahead.
This is a question directed to Al. Your colleague, Remmer, is a tremendous announcer, and I wonder, when he says that Beaupre gets a piece of it, who gets the other piece, and how many pieces are there? And second, when he says they change on the fly, is it a horse fly or a barn fly or a house fly? Why doesn't he say he gets enough of the puck, or he veers it off, or on the other one, why doesn't he say a quick change? Thank you.
Well, we'll write all these down, but I'm sure as a general manager, as long as your goaltender gets a piece of it, you're happy. You don't care how many pieces, huh?
Well, a week ago, Dave Elfin from the Washington Times wrote a very creative article about all the hockey terminology. He had an interview with a lot of our players. The main one was Nick Kyprios, and you wouldn't believe some of the slang that goes on in our game. And it's really creative, and it's very unique. And I can see, as the caller says, our announcers have picked up some of that in the broadcasting booth, which I think really adds to the quality of the game.
Let's go to Norfolk. And David, go ahead.
Yes, I'd just like to ask Mr. Poile what the Capitals' reaction is to the upcoming Dale Hunter suspension. And I'd also like to thank the Capitals organization for their agreement working with the Hampton Roads Admirals, and it certainly has helped increase their fan support here in Virginia.
Thank you. The Dale Hunter suspension is a difficult one. I guess it's no different than any other player being suspended. I'm sure the team always feels that it's been wronged, and it's just It's a tough one. My only comment that I have on it is that we're all looking for consistency throughout our game and in all of these suspensions. And you know, in our own personal viewpoint, there's some things that have happened against us this season. One in particular, when Dino Cicerelli had his thumb broken and he missed 22 games, and the player that did that was not penalized, nor was he suspended. And I don't think that's fair. And this is where I think the consistency part, you know, leaves us and probably other teams a little bit upset. It's certainly not a perfect situation, and you know, it's going to hurt us here in the stretch.
Let's go to Fairfax. And Nat, go ahead.
Good afternoon. My question is, for much of the first half of the season, the Capitals were dominant both on the power play and on the penalty killing, and the power play has slacked off quite a bit. My question is, was the Caps' domination in the first half of the season, was that pretty standard for the past couple of years with different teams that were in the lead? Thank you very much.
No, our power play, as it appears right now, and I don't like to say this, but it was more of an aberration, because we have had difficulty with our power play before, and now we're in desperate straits with it. I think in the last 30 games we're something like 10%, which is rapidly taking us to the bottom in that area. If it wasn't for our penalty killing, which has been outstanding, as evidenced the last game against the Rangers when we shut them down in 7 situations, which means over 14 of the 60 minutes played shorthanded, you know, we'd be in more trouble than we are. A game like today, where you see Pittsburgh gets a power play goal, granted it was a 5-on-3 situation, those are the things that can make all the difference in a game. We know we're going to get you know, a couple more power plays in this game today, and we've got to click on that if we're going to be successful.
All right, David, thank you very much for the visit. David Boyle, between our first and second periods, we're back with more hockey after these messages on Home Team Sports.
Having problems with your roof? Who can you trust to install a new one? Hi, Bob Vila for Sears, the home improvement professionals. If you've got loose, worn, curling shingles and maybe even leakage problems, you need a total roofing system from Sears. You can choose from many name brand, top quality shingles and get the beautiful look you want. Call now and arrange for a free in-home estimate. When Sears installs your total roofing system, you get more than a new roof. You get installation by authorized insured contractors. You get one of the best warranties in the industry. Sears can handle the replacement of gutters, add ventilation, and insulation. So in the end, you have a new total roofing system that protects your home and looks great. For installed roofing and a whole lot more, count on the home improvement professionals at Sears, the most trusted name around the house.
Call 1-800-228-2200 to arrange a free in-home Sears installed roofing estimate. 1-800-228-2200.
You're living right, you're thinking light. Yeah, you're keeping fit, that's it. So as long as you keep trying, you're gonna get going.
Now, Long John Silver's has a lighter way to go. Our tender-baked whitefish. So get ready, get set.
Long John Silver's.
Right now, come in and try our new baked fish light portions.
Snow, incredible snow.
You are psyched, huh?
It's our first trip to America's premier ski resort. Hey, what do you think?
Black, huh?
Yeah.
I can see you working the main lodge tonight there in the romantic glow of a roaring fire. Your danger takes its toll.
And, Rev,
'Tis the season for the flakes that don't melt.
I shampoo every morning.
Shampoo till spring with an ordinary shampoo. Won't work like this.
You use Head & Shoulders. You don't have dandruff.
Nothing gets by you, does it?
Head & Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Home Team Sports coverage of Washington Capitals hockey is brought to you by Labatt's Blue, the crisp, clean taste of Canada's favorite beer. Between friends, it's True Blue, Labatt's Blue. By your nearby Sears installed home improvement professionals, the most trusted name around the house. And by Safeway. Come see the difference at Safeway. An exciting first period of play. The Caps and the Penguins tied at 2. The Washington Capitals scoring at 19:59. Welcome back, Jeff Rimmer, along with Craig Laughlin. And really an indictment here this afternoon, Craig, for the use
of the clock superimposed over the video to perfectly illustrate, as we have here this afternoon, that the Washington Capitals goal was indeed scored with 1 second left in that first period.
It sure was, and it's a big goal for the Capitals. They go into the dressing room with a lot of momentum. They did that the other night against the Rangers. Dino Ciccarelli scoring at 19:28 of the second, and that really pushed them over the hump. Anytime you score near the end of the period, especially 19:59, it's a big boost in that dressing room.
All right, let's get a look at our Washington Capitals head and shoulders shot chart from the first period.
For the Capitals, 13 shots on goal. 2 goals they scored. Some great work around the front of the net. Dino Ciccarelli just shooting the puck at the net. 3 of the 13 shots, Dino Ciccarelli. But they get a short-handed goal. The Pittsburgh Penguins being forced by Dave Tippett on Larry Murphy. Larry Murphy backpedals. He's looking for someone to pass it to. But the Pittsburgh Penguins not knowing to come back. If we hold it here, Mark Recchi just coming into the picture, but easily picked off by John Druce. And John Druce comes in alone, makes no mistake about it. A great play by Tippett in front, taken away Larry Murphy, and John Druce with Barrasso down and out. He's just grasping, trying to make it hit any part of his body, and John Druce makes no question, no mistake about it, puts it into the top corner. Then they scored at 19:59 of the third. A good play by Dino Ciccarelli. A nice shot on net. That's all he wanted to do, is put it on the net. Maybe looking for Kelly Miller off the side. Kelly Miller gets pushed into the corner, but then Mike Ridley follows it in, and watch the puck. It goes into the top corner. No doubt about it. It hits the water bottle. The water bottle jumps off the top of the net. It's a goal for the Washington Capitals.
And for the Pittsburgh Penguins, we got to look at their shot chart here this afternoon. 5 of their shots coming on the power play, including the goal.
And they had a lot of quality chances, but a 5-on-3 power play gives you the chance to get a lot of shots on the goal. The Capitals working a 5-on-3. If we set it up here, Paul Coffey, Recchi. Watch this guy. We've got Cullen down low. The Capitals setting up a triangle, 5-on-3. And if we hold it right here, we've got the perfect triangle set up to defend a 5-on-3. But after the shot from Murphy, we watch number 8 in the slot. He deflects it down between the legs of Jim Rivnak, giving the Penguins a power play goal.
And today's shot chart is brought to you by Head & Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Teams are back on the ice here now, and as play begins, let's rejoin Al Koken.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, certainly emotion, the key to the start of the second period. The Capitals should have a lot of it by that last goal, but as someone who was standing right outside the Pittsburgh locker room as they came off the ice, there certainly was fire in their eyes. Any look at the replays that we had certainly will probably not calm them down. They feel they were wrong, so it's going to be interesting to see how they react in these opening minutes. Do they try and get something going just emotionally to get their offense going? Do they try and retaliate at the Capitals in anger and take some penalties? Be very interesting to see. The other thing is, the Capitals obviously have got to be a little patient around Tom Barrasso. Right now, almost every key situation, he's been flopping down to the ice. John Druce was able to score on that second chance by holding it and flipping it up above him. Mike Ridley tried a little earlier and didn't get it up high enough. We'll see if the Capitals can take advantage of that, because Barrasso right now really seems like he's jumping around. Although from what we're gathering right now, Wendell Young now has been put in the Pittsburgh goal. They just made this announcement, and looking behind me, we see Young in the net. So we'll be interested to see what different strategy now on the new goaltender takes place. Back upstairs.
Craig, do you think part of the reason might be that Barrasso might have been just a little bit rattled after that goal? You think now at 19:59, and certainly Barrasso very upset. In fact, we haven't even seen him make his way back out here onto the bench.
No, he's not even on the Pittsburgh bench, and I think Wendell Young, Barrasso pulled in after the second period in New Jersey the other night after he let in 5 goals. Bob Johnson may be saying, let's go with Wendell Young, although Barrasso could have been hurt in that last melee in front of the goal at 19:59.
Of course, the other thing, too, he might have said something to Van Hellemond as the team and the officials left the ice. Not on the bench right now. Here's Stanton in across the line. Lets a drive go. Rivnak the save. We're tied 2-2. Second period just underway. Coffey back to his own line. Throws it to Stanton. Edge dumped into the Washington zone. Sabrin on the backhand. Flips it to center. Coffey backpedaling inside his own line. Beats to Stanton. Ahead here now. On the wing, Urdina. Too far for Phil Bourque. Iafrate and Bork tie up. Sabrin comes up with the puck, works it ahead for John Bruce on the left wing. Bruce gets it tied up in his skates, takes a hit. Penguins keep it in. Bruce still doesn't see it. The Caps able to finally clear it to center ice. Hops over the stick of Phil Boyd. The bouncing puck controlled by Pivonka, trying to feed to Bondra, but Stanton breaks up that one, and he quickly gets it to Yeager. Yeager dumps it in. Penguins change on the fly. Rivnak gives to Iafrate. Iafrate with a long lead pass behind Ridley. It's touched by Airy, icing the call.
Bob Airy for the Penguins, been their best player lately. He's not a very big guy, but he really throws around his body. He's a punishing body checker. All his checks he makes sure he gets a piece of you, and he's just playing a small guy, but he's playing very, very strong. Mark Recchi, 9 power play goals, make it 10 now with that power play goal on the 5-on-3 in that first period. He's got 7 game-winning goals, ranks him right up there near the top in the NHL. He's a key player, over a 20% shooting percentage. When you shoot over 20%, you're going to score a lot of goals.
Ridley set for the draw to the left of Rivnak. He wins it, gets it to Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher circles the net. Kevin Hatcher throws it ahead at center. Hillier stops, backhands it right back in. Johansson around the net. Caps defenseman feeds it on the wing. It was behind Kelly Miller. Recchi right out of the stick of Kevin Hatcher, who crosses the line. Hatcher with a backhand. Lemieux there for the Penguins. He throws it ahead for Airy. Recchi ahead of Airy. Airy gets it to Recchi. The return pass off the skate of Airy. Caps control. Here's Cicerelli back for Washington to center. He throws it ahead for Johansson, looking for Kelly Miller off his skate. Wendell Young works it off the boards. Stopped by Ridley. Sidesteps to check. Zalapski off the boards to Airy to Recchi at center. With Lemieux. Drops it for Lemieux. Top of the circle. Lemieux to Recchi, and it's broken up by Johansson. 2-on-1 with Ridley. Here's Ridley with Johansson breaking towards the net, and it's cleared by Murphy with a good defensive play to the corner. Back come the Penguins. Zalapski crosses the line, lets one go. Rivnak has it, and he'll hold on.
Jim Rivnak for the Caps, getting his fourth time been called up with the Washington Capitals. 4-1 on the season, and Mike Ridley breaking down a 2-on-1 with the defenseman Kelly Johansson. He pulls the puck aside, trying to fake out Larry Murphy. Larry Murphy playing the pass across, playing between Ridley and Johansson. Then the puck just rolled off the stick because he was thinking shoot, he was thinking pass. In that situation, he didn't make up his mind whether he should shoot or pass, and it rolled off his stick.
So the face-off again in the Washington zone to the left of Rivnak. Dale Hunter will do the honors for Washington. And just awaiting John Cullen's return from the bench with a new stick. He'll take the face-off for the Penguins. Hunter wins the face-off. Tatarnov has it in the corner. The Caps defenseman feeds ahead for Alan May at his own line. Lead pass and backhanded by Leach to the corner. Wendell Young out of the net. Young steers on the near side for Stevens. Stevens cross ice too far for Young. Iafrate is there. Tips it right out of the stick of Cullen across the line. Lets one go. Rivnak to save. Tatarnov picks up the loose puck. Beats it on the right wing. Broken up by the Penguins. Stevens dumps to the corner. Cullen is there. He bumps with Iafrate. Cullen tries the wraparound, but it's steered to the corner. Murphy stepping up. Iafrate. Lead pass for Alan May at center. Here's May. Across the line. Alan May breaking to the net. Poked off his stick. Hunter gets it to Leach. Off his stick to Tatarnov. Leach on the half-board. Bump. Driven to the ice. Picking up the loose puck now. Stevens for Cullen. Tatarnov has it at the Washington line. Lead pass for Hunter, and it just missed. Backboard is Roberts. He'll touch it. Icing the call. 16:55 left to go here in the second period. You're watching Caps hockey on Home Team Sports.
Don't forget to change the oil.
Don't forget to change the oil.
Do it now. Forget to change the oil. Don't forget to change the oil. Do it now.
Change the oil.
Do it now.
Don't forget to change the oil.
Do it now.
Honey?
Yeah?
We should change the oil.
Jeff Rimmer, Craig Laughlin, Al Koken back here on HTS. A sellout crowd, a matinee between the Penguins and the Capitals. Washington playing the second of 5 straight against the Patrick Division. Their 7th and final regular season meeting with the Penguins here. And a big, big game. From the draw, picking up the loose puck, Kyprios. Works it, cross ice. Johansson behind his own net. Caps defenseman, feeds ahead for Hatcher. Hatcher skates it to the line. He's to center for Provoca. Provoca tied up now by Stanton, still with one hand trying to work it free. Provoca feeds it here for Kyprios on the backhand. Wendell Young to save the rebound. It scores! The Washington Capitals take the lead. Opportunist, the loose puck standing right on the doorstep.
And Al Iafrate picks up his 7th goal, but it all started in the corner. John Druce finishing his check, and he finished it on Herdina. The puck came loose. Al Iafrate followed in from his point, knew he had a chance to go for the puck. Paul Coffey knocking the net off, the puck clearly into the goal before Coffey knocked the net off its moorings.
3:30, the time of the goal. The guy that really worked on this one, Craig, I thought, was Michael Pavanka, fending off the Pittsburgh check with one hand, trying to work that puck free.
And it's that first man pressure. John Druce getting in, and that second guy, like you said, Jeff, Michael Pavanka getting the loose puck and making the play into the slot.
Here's Kordic on the ice, feeds to Tippett, picked up by Stevens for the Penguins, takes a return pass from Zalapsky. Stevens shot, gloved by Rivnak, and he will hold on. Let's see if anything develops here. John Kordic, Iafrate having a few words. As we got a look at Jim Rivnak. Capitals with the lead, 3-2 on the goal by Iafrate, his 7th of the year.
A lot of pressure around both goals. The net coming off quite a bit. 2 goals, the one at the end of the period. Iafrate's goal, the net just coming off. The little mooring that it's held on with, the magnet, comes right off. But Coffey definitely knocked the net off its post.
Now there's the official call from Marv Brooks. Iafrate's 7th of the year. Druce an assist. And Kyprios also drawing an assist. Won't show up in the scoreboard tomorrow. There's a lead pass for Tippett. He goes after it. He's got it. Fires a shot. Wendell Young gets a piece of it. It's to the corner. Hunter sidesteps his check. Kyprios works it along the boards. He has it. Kyprios to Iafrate. Iafrate steps away from Trottier. Tries to fire a shot as he is done. Play goes right on. Stevens off the boards. Trottier has it, but loses it, and then Iafrate dumps it the rest of the way. Zalapsky for Trottier on the wing. Stevens had his stick up, couldn't take it, but picked it up off the boards. Here's a shot by Zalapsky. Rivnak the save, the rebound with Rivnak down, and the Caps come back. Kyprios, lead pass for Ridley at center. Ridley on the wing. Kordic is tied up and turned around, as is Ridley. Hatcher steps up, and play called, the offside, called by Dupuzzo.
Both teams using their transition, really carrying the puck, making that lead pass to the wide open forward. In Pittsburgh with a good scoring chance, a nice play right in front. Troy Loney knocking down Rivnak. Brian Trottier following up from his center position, tries to flip it over him. Rivnak down, 2-legged slide. The puck ends up hitting the side of the goal.
After these 2 games this week on the road, the Capitals home here next Saturday night against the New York Islanders, and Tuesday, March the 5th. Caps' last game against the Los Angeles Kings and the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Larry Murphy, cross ice. Gordy Roberts, back to Murphy. Murphy, side steps. Ciccarelli dumps the backhand into the Washington zone. Bouncing puck now. Hatcher tries to control, gets it to Ridley off his stick. Hatcher gets it right back, and on the backhand, puts it high off the glass. Ridley picks it up for Washington at center. Mike Ridley loses his edge, but drives it in. Wendell Young, quick lead pass for Recchi. For Mario Lemieux. On the wing, broken up there by Ciccarelli. Offside the call. Airy, looking for that pass, was a little offside as Ciccarelli able to intercept. Al Koken has an update for us on the Washington Post scoreboard. Al? All right, thanks, Jeff. Before we get to that update, what I've been able to find out so far about Tom Barrasso, there is some sort of injury, possibly a groin pull, and it is doubtful that he will return this afternoon. We'll try and get further word from you about the Pittsburgh goaltender. Now, on the out-of-town scoreboard, on the Washington Post scoreboard, one game of key importance for Capitals fans. The Rangers right now pouring it on the New Jersey Devils, 4-0 in the first period. The first two Ranger goals, power play goals, one by Kevin Miller and the other by John Ogrodnik. Back upstairs now to Jeff and Craig. Very big game.
Wow, what a big game for the Rangers. The Rangers at home. The Devils, a Jekyll and Hyde team. One day they're flying. They beat the Penguins on Friday night. Then going into New York and being down 4-0. It's a tough hole to dig out of in Madison Square Garden.
Think the Rangers might be a little sour from what happened here Friday night?
I think so.
Hunter and Cullen set for the faceoff. We'll see the Rangers Wednesday night. Hyatt Brady behind the Washington net. Has the go-ahead goal here. Gets it to Tatarnov, cut off by the Penguins. The Caps control as Tatarnov lifts it high in the air. Stanton turns. Tries to drive it in. He's tied up by Hunter. The loose puck along the boards. Cullen works it free and gets it to Young. Young across the line for Coffey. Caps doing a pretty good job standing up at the big line. Dale Hunter dumps it in off his stick and up into the crowd.
Excuse me, Jeff. Defensively, the Caps doing a good job because the third and fourth man coming back, which is so important against the Penguins, they're reading the play. The Penguins, a team that like to drop the puck a lot, create the drop passes with Coffey and the defenseman coming up, but the Capital forwards aware of that and picking off those errant passes.
Bob Johnson, earlier on this season, recorded his 200th NHL career victory. Happy to be back in the National Hockey League, and he's done a pretty good job here with this Penguin Hockey Club.
He sure has. He's really molded them into a contender, and they need Tom Barrasso. With him being hurt, if that's his problem, they need Tom Barrasso in the goal.
What was that word you used earlier on tonight, or this afternoon, the money goaltender?
Yeah.
Good choice of words. Puck dumped in to the Washington zone. Tatarnov will touch it. And icing the call. So this one will come back into the Pittsburgh zone. Michael Tatarnov struggled a little bit earlier on this season, but seems to be back on his game.
He sure is. He really came on very well. And Frank Pietrangelo for the Pittsburgh Penguins coming out of the stands. I saw him earlier in the press room. He was having a bite to eat. He's now put on his equipment. You're allowed when a goalie is hurt to bring another goalie down who isn't dressed. They brought Frank Pietrangelo. The other night in Buffalo, the same thing occurred. Clint Malarchuk coming down from the press box, and hopefully they didn't have too much popcorn or anything, came down to the press box to dress for Buffalo.
Craig, you're not going to tell me that guys, if they're not playing, are eating up in the press room?
Well, I saw Frank Pietrangelo up there. I know he probably had a little bite to eat.
All right. Erdina tries to cross the line, sidesteps a check. Tatarnov got a piece of him. Bondra with a loose puck, clears it cross ice for Lawler. Lawler to his own line. Mike Lawler dumping it into the open corner. Wendell Young comes out of the net, then works it along the boards for Stevens. Gives to Zalapsky. Zalapsky now crosses the line. Fires a shot through traffic and it's wide. Yeager works it to the open corner. Erdina takes the check. Back off into the corner. Mike Lawler. Lawler for the Caps. Lead pass for Povanka at center. He'll dump it in. Glove by Wendell Young. Young quickly feeds to Erdina with Yeager and Airy. They cross the line. Here's Airy on the left wing. Works it around. Cut off by Ripnack. Kelly Johansson back for Washington. Throws it ahead here for Kelly Miller at center. Miller down the left wing. Tries to get around Larry Murphy. Has the puck. Miller around the net. Ciccarelli standing in front. Now gets the puck on the far side. Ciccarelli trying to work it free to Ridley. Comes to the near side. Johansson pinches in. He gets it to Ridley behind the net. He lets it go to Ciccarelli. Back to Ridley. Ridley being tied up there by Airy. Kicks it ahead for Johansson. He's tied up by Coffey. Caps trying to get something going here in the offensive zone. Johansson tries to work it off the board.
And Kelly Johansson, a defenseman for the Caps, behind the Pittsburgh net. But Kelly Miller, being a smart hockey player, covering up for him.
Here's Paul Coffey, the other end, looking for Lemieux, and he couldn't take the pass as he was tied up by Kevin Hatcher. Back come the Capitals. Ciccarelli across the line for Ridley. Ridley turns away from Recchi. Ridley still with the puck, loses it to Murphy. It's off the boards and back to neutral ice. Kevin Hatcher backpedaling at his own line to Kelly Miller with a backhand. He heads to the bench. Caps change on the go. Larry Murphy takes it from Wendell Young. Lead pass too far for Coffey. Recchi couldn't get it. Sabrin tries to throw it ahead for John Druce, but Murphy dumps it into the Washington zone. Al Iafrate back for Washington. Iafrate dumps it to the corner. Scott Young is there. He pokes it behind the net for John Cullen. Cullen for Young. Oh, and Stevens couldn't take the pass. The puck ended up over the glass and into the crowd. 11:14 left to go here in the second period. It's the Caps by 1.
Just traded in that great deal I got 4 years ago. Now I know who paid for the big rebate and the low interest rate. Live and learn. That's why I drive a Toyota now. And Camry's the most trouble-free new car in its class. With an option package that saved me real money today. And value that's going to save me real money tomorrow. Live and learn.
See your Toyota dealer today for Toyota value. It's the best deal going.
Well, Kevin Hatcher for the Caps, caught in a tough play at 2-on-1. Paul Coffey jumping up from his defense, and Mario Lemieux driving to the net. But look at Kelly Miller hooking him, lifting up his stick, not letting him get that stick on the ice to receive that cross-ice pass.
Here's a lead pass for Leach, and he couldn't control the puck. Zalapski on the left wing. Feeds to Cullen, back pass, and intercepted by the Capitals. Here's Alan May over the line, and getting a piece of it was Wendell Young. May works it cross ice for Hunter in the corner. Hunter tied up by Zalapski. They get sticks up. They're all tied up, Zalapski and Hunter. Play goes on. Alan May has Hillier behind the net, but Hunter and Zalapski still wrestling in the corner.
Dale Hunter, very aggressive tonight. We call that in hockey terms a face wash, Jeff. Both guys getting their gloves up in each other's face, rubbing their face with their gloves. No punches really handed out. Both guys grabbing onto each other, very tight into each other. Andy Van Hellemond going to send both of them off for the penalty. And Alan May and Randy Hillier talking next to Wendell Young, the goaltender. Randy Hillier with his helmet off also. Alan May, both of them talking to each other, wondering if they're going to fight or not. But Alan May quickly backs away. Not that he didn't want to fight, but just in case he got caught for that extra penalty for being the aggressor.
Now Zalapski's out in the penalty box for Pittsburgh. Dale Hunter over in the Washington penalty box. And we may have a few more penalties. The Caps penalty box still open. In fact, for that matter, Pittsburgh's is as well.
For the penalties for number 33, Charlie Zalapski of Pittsburgh. He gets 2 minutes for roughing. Washington, number 32, Dale Hunter. Double minor, 2 minutes for roughing, 2 minutes for holding. Time of the calls, 9:12.
So Hunter given the double minor. And again, the Penguins on the power play. And this one worked this way before tonight.
Washington, number 32, Dale Hunter. 2 minutes roughing, 2 minutes holding.
I wonder if Dale Hunter's a marked man now because of the 4-game suspension.
Must be Dale Hunter month.
Now, to me, they got tied up with one another, and that was it. So, Pittsburgh on the power play. Penguins with the #1 power play coming into this afternoon's game. The Caps #1 in penalty killing efficiency. Cullen crosses the line. Tries to dump it to the point, and it's cleared. And Kelly Miller races down the wing. He's got Hatcher with him. 2-on-2. Here's Miller turning. Feeds to Hatcher. Ridley breaks for the net, but it's broken up there by Cullen. John Cullen. 1:33 left. Gives to Paul Coffey. Coffey with a big burst of speed to center. Coffey crosses the line, loses it as it's tipped by Ridley to neutral ice. Scott Young skates back to center, throws it on the wing. Kevin Stevens back for Cullen. Head to the point to Coffey. Cross ice. Scott Young lets one go. Rivnak gets a piece of it. It's tipped in front and scores! John Cullen. A power play goal. Pittsburgh's second of the afternoon.
John Cullen picks up his 29th goal of the season. Kevin Stevens batting the puck towards the net. John Cullen collapsing, going right towards the net before Kelly Miller could get his stick on it. John Cullen gets his stick on it and pokes it between the pads of Jim Rivnak. But a shot from the point, pretty harmless, but it hit Rivnak high in the glove, not allowing him to catch it. And Kevin Stevens just putting the puck towards the net. John Cullen standing to the right of Rivnak, puts it between his legs.
29th goal of the year for John Cullen. 10:03. Stevens and Young draw assists. We're all tied up again. Puck in the Pittsburgh zone, cleared off the board. Recchi with a backhand. Druce keeps it in for Washington. Coffey skates it back to center. It's off his stick. And Johansson now at the Washington line. Feeds for Hatcher, who dumps to the corner. Paul Coffey works it off the glass, down the ice into the Washington end. Rivnak teeing it up there for Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher with a lead pass for Tippett. Hopped over his stick. Stanton off the boards. Gets it to Recchi. Harry picks it up along the boards. Takes a hit there from Hatcher. Recchi and Pivonka also bumping. Puck comes back. Stanton feeds to Lemieux. Lemieux turns. Fires a shot. Rivnak is down, has it, and he'll hold on as he squeezes the pads closed.
It's time for Miller What's on Tap, the Miller Genuine Draft 500 race at the Pocono Raceway, July 21st. It's not too early to purchase tickets. Call 1-800-RACEWAY for your tickets to this great race.
9:05 left to go here in the second period. Penguins 3, Caps 3.
Rivnak very sharp in goal for the Capitals. Stopping, but the Capitals defense clearing out in front. Bob Airy standing alone in front of the net, knocked over by Kevin Hatcher, not letting him get that second or third chance, whack at it, and Rivnak just covering it up.
After being outshot in the first period, the Penguins have come back to take a 2017 lead in shots on goal. They've had 9 shots to the Caps 4 here in the second period. Just past the halfway point of the period and the hockey game. Pivonka set for the face-off with his fellow countryman, Erdina. Pivonka wins the draw to Tarnov around his net. On the backhand, able to dump it to center. Knocked down by the Penguins, but the Caps control. Off the stick of Bondra to Tarnov, bumping with Bork. Bork feeds it ahead here for Yeager. To Erdina. Erdina across the line, trying to go around Iafrate. Erdina throws it out in front, but the Caps quickly clear to the corner. Bill Bork for Yeager. Yeager with one hand fends off Iafrate. Yeager with that long reach loses it. Iafrate gets it to John Druce, who's down the right wing to center. Druce crosses the line. Who's trying to get around Roberts, who stands him up. Pivonka misses a check. Penguins control. Roberts with a lead pass. Larry Murphy stepping up off his stick, tipped by Bondra. Yeager tries to get it back to Murphy, but John Druce there to cut it off. To Tarnov. From center. Fires a shot. Wendell Young steers to the corner. Both teams change on the go. Kyprios on the ice for Washington. Kyprios fending off Murphy with one hand. Puck squirts free to the corner. Here on the near side, Roberts tries to get it back to Murphy. Murphy tying up Kyprios, and Wendell Young works it along. Caps try to keep it in. Kordic doing the job along the boards. Coming in and helping out is Tippett. Puck squirts free to neutral ice. Sabrin dumps it in. Wendell Young out of the net. Works it off the glass. Kordic tries to keep it in. Able to tip it. Stevens on the backhand. Dumps to neutral ice. Sabrin fires it back in. Offside the call. 7:31 left to go here. Murphy and Kordic have words. Hatcher got a piece of his former teammate, as did Nick Kyprios.
I talked to John Kordic earlier in the day, and he says he wants to talk to them, push them around a little bit. He says that's his job. He's just a little bit of, he's a part of the machine. He calls the Washington Capitals a machine. He's a small part of it, he thinks.
Caps are 5-0, and you can't knock that with John Kordic in the lineup.
He told me that could be just a coincidence.
Kordick having a few words, talking to John Cullen, saying, hey, it's great to be back in the NHL. Dave Tippett will do the honors against Cullen. The face-off, Stanton at his own blue line, feeds to Paul Coffey. Coffey flipping it high in the air, gets tied up under the scoreboard, but comes out the other side. Sabrin stops, waits, gives to Iafrate, back to Sabrin. Sabrin turning away from Kevin Stevens, feeds to Iafrate. Iafrate works it off the glass at center. Bouncing puck onto the stick of Stevens for Coffey to Cullen. Kordick takes a hit, or throws a hit on Cullen, but it was Kordick that ends up on the ice. Tippett tied up by Stanton in front. Wendell Young giving it there to Scott Young. Young to Coffey or Stevens. Sabrin works it off the board. Scott Young steps up. Offside the call. 6:41 left to go here in the second period. We're tied.
This good boy shares what he has with the rest of his class. This bad boy doesn't. There's only one Jeep Cherokee Sport.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
The Penguins and the Capitals still pushing around the Penguin bench. They haven't broke up yet. John Kordick went by their bench, talked to Caulfield over there. Nick Kypreos being pushed around, being pushed by Paul Coffey, and Nick Kypreos quickly pushed them back. Coffey trying to get the Capitals to take a penalty so the Penguins can go on the power play.
Well, Pittsburgh scored 2 power play goals, but they also have given up a shorthanded goal. Let's not lose sight of that fact. In fact, the first goal of the hockey game this afternoon, John Druce breaking a long scoring drought.
Pittsburgh number 77, Paul Coffey. Washington number 9, Nick Kypreos. They each get 2 minutes for roughing at 13:19. Penguins penalty, Paul Coffey number 77. Washington penalty, Nick Kypreos number 9. 2 minutes each, roughing at 13:19.
Offsetting penalties, the teams will remain at full strength.
And that's the type of thing Coach Terry Murray wants. He wants the players to bump into Coffey. Coffey, 108 minutes in penalties, so he's got a lot of penalties, so he gets involved out there. And when Coffey's not on the ice, it's a good thing. And John Kordick and John Cullen, knowing Kordick was coming, he could hear the footsteps from the far side of the rink. John Kordick having words with him at the faceoff. Cullen was ready for John Kordick to land a hard hit, and Cullen caught the best of him because he was up against the glass, and John Kordick actually hit him right flush with the glass. That made John Kordick fall down.
Hatcher loses it. Here's Lemieux firing a shot. Ribnak to save. The rebound comes back, but Hatcher controls for Washington. Works it off the boards for Cicerelli at center. He takes a hit from Airy. Puck in the corner. In the Pittsburgh zone. Trying to dig it free is Kelly Miller. Miller trying to fish it away from Stanton, but play whistled down. Caps team captain this afternoon, Kelly Miller, again in the absence of Rod Langway, who was out for the pregame warm-up, was expected to play his second consecutive game, but twisted his back just a bit, and as a result, a late scratch. Yes, the Penguins do have an offensive machine.
They can certainly score, but they give up a lot of quality chances, and the goaltenders have faced over 40 shots. 6 out of the last 10 games, so you know the Penguins give up a lot of shots and a lot of scoring shots.
Here's Cicerelli, picks up the loose puck, fires a shot looking for the far side, and he just missed. Comes back to Johansson at the point. His drive blocked and cleared by Hillier with a lead pass for Recchi, looking for Lemieux. And that one missed, touched by Hatcher, icing the call. A little cherry picking there by the big team captain of the Penguins, Mario Lemieux, who's been looking for that lead pass a couple of times here this afternoon.
Dino Cicerelli coming off the top of the circle, being picked. Kelly Miller picking Randy Hillier, allowing him to come around. Zalapsky trying to catch up to Dino Cicerelli. And Kelly Miller driving to the net. Randy Hillier sliding into the goal. They work that pick play off the top of the circle. Dino Cicerelli just slides it wide of the far post.
Dino wanted us to say hello to his family. His dad, Vic, was in town here when Dino notched goal number 400. And also had the hat trick, and Dino wanted to say hello to his dad and his family watching the game back in Sarnia, Ontario. And he also wanted to tell his dad that he can still score without him because he got his 20th goal the other night.
And Vic already told me too, Jeff, he loves watching me do the broadcasts.
I heard that. Here's a fight. Kordic and Caulfield, round 2.
John Kordic got the jump on Caulfield right off the face-off, and John Kordic landing some left and a couple of rights. Now he's got it going. Caulfield trying to hold on. Both big men, and John Kordic threw him down twice. Caulfield not very strong on his skates. He's a big, tough kid, but he's not very strong on his skates. He didn't start skating till he was older, after 10 years of age, so he hasn't picked up the game, the skating part of the game, but he's a big, strong guy, and he's willing to go with anybody. But John Kordic landed a few punches with his left hand. And John Kordic, an excited young man. The fans at the Cap Center, John Kordic loves to play that role. He wants to get the fans behind him, and he really won that fight, Jeff.
Alan May couldn't believe it as he laughed. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
And this is our 1991 Chevy S10EL. Let me point out a few features. Electronic fuel injection, power front disc brakes, rear wheel anti-lock brake system, double wall steel, front and rear. 5-speed, full gauges, tinted glass. What do you think?
So, what will I get for this price?
Let me show you.
The 91 Chevy S10EL. For value, more people are winning with today's Chevy truck.
14:04. Time of the penalties, 5 and 10.
And Caulfield and John Kordic right off the face-off. John Kordic doesn't waste any time. Caulfield drops his glove first, but then Kordic gets the jump because he's got him by the sweater, and he pushes him around, pulls him around. Caulfield finally gets up, but then John Kordic gets that big left hand free, and he's just free swinging. Caulfield goes down again. He goes down again in the corner. They're both off 5-minute fighting majors, but Andy Van Hellemond has also given each of them an additional 10-minute misconduct.
Play underway. Leases with a drive. Wendell Young hit there by Alan May, and again we got something going.
Well, Alan May quickly went to the net, and he's got his right hand free against Troy Loney. Loney, one of the other tough forwards for the Penguins, he's trying to get free. And Troy Loney getting his right hand free a little bit on Alan May. Alan May trying to get his left going now because Loney's got his right arm tied up.
Two of the heavyweights in the NHL going at it from close range.
And you notice there, Jeff, Alan May trying to get that helmet off Troy Loney. It's a lot easier hitting a guy's head than it is his helmet. So he wants to get that helmet off so he's not going to hurt his wrist.
Not to mention his knuckles.
Oh! And now he's got his left hand free. Troy Loney's nose there. Alan May hustling off to the dressing room, very excited. Johnny Kordic in the fight previously, he wanted to know what all the action was about. He quickly came to Alan May's Kordic, gave him the high five as they both went off to the dressing room.
Andy Van Hellemond sorting out the penalties, and we're going to get another look at how this one all began.
Well, Alan May going for the loose high puck. Wendell Young catches the puck. Alan May still goes to the net. Randy Hillier steps in, pushes Alan May a little bit, catches Stephen Leach in the face, but Troy Loney steps in between Hillier
for Pittsburgh,
and
number
Alan May,
24,
and they both
Loney.
go at it.
5 minutes for fighting. For Washington, number 16, Alan May. 5 minutes for fighting, 2 minutes for instigating. Time of the penalties, 14:09.
Now, how does he get the extra instigating penalty when it was two Penguins coming after him?
Troy Loney, 5 minutes fighting. Washington penalty number 16, Alan May. 5 minutes fighting, 2 minutes for instigating at 14:09.
Well, Jeff, that's hard to believe. Alan May being grabbed by Randy Hillier and Troy Loney behind the net. Alan May gets the instigator penalty, and I'm not sure why, because all he did is finish his check through the goaltender. That's what upset the Penguins. Whenever you hit the goaltender, you know you're going to have someone come and try to grab you and fight you. But Loney stepped in. The initial interaction was between Hillier and Alan May. So Troy Loney stepped in. He should have been the aggressor in that particular situation.
Or maybe third man in. But the Capitals again come up on the short end of this one. Another minor penalty. And it's Pittsburgh on the power play. We're all tied up. Cullen from the corner. Gets it to Zalapski. Lead pass now. Stevens for Lemieux. Lemieux half forward, looking cross ice. Gets it there, but via Ridley. Now thrown in front. Stevens couldn't control it. Cap's able to clear it down the ice. Zalapski back to his own line. Backpedal. Throws it ahead here for John Cullen. Off in the corner. Hatcher works it around. Comes back to Zalapski. Off the stick of Kelly Miller. Penguins still able to keep it in. Zalapski with the backhand. Ridley gets it to Kelly Miller. Tips it away from Scott Young. Wendell Young way out of the net. Just leaves it there for Zalapski. Caps get some fresh legs on in this penalty-killing situation. Zalapski too far for Young, too far for Cullen. Iafrate has it. Lemieux's on the ice, but Iafrate backhands it to the Pittsburgh line. Lead pass for Cullen at center. 4:47 left. 55 in the minor penalty as Iafrate dumps it to neutral ice. Zalapski works it back in, delayed offside. Iafrate to slow it down. And now rifles at the length of the ice. Grossuker has to jump up.
And the Penguins frustrated by the Washington Capitals penalty killers. The Capitals reading the plays, intercepting the passes, and throwing them down the ice. When they went to the bench, they're slapping their sticks. You've got a frustrated Pittsburgh Penguin power play unit.
John Bruce with a heads-up play. Able to take it off the Penguins and then also clear it down into the Pittsburgh game. Here's Young. Maybe a final rush with 18 seconds left. Gets it to Yeager. Yeager trying to get around Kelly Miller, and Ridley are back on. They tied up along the board. 4 minutes left here in the period. 8 seconds in the minor. Lemieux for Yeager. Yeager walks in, shoots. Ribnak, a piece of it, and it's cleared off the board. Back down into neutral ice. Mario Lemieux as Cicerelli steps on the ice. Lemieux works it back to Roberts for Larry Murphy. Murphy from center, dumps to the open corner. First back is Hatcher for Washington. Lead pass for Ridley with Cicerelli. And Pavaka, 3-on-2 to Cicerelli looking for Ridley. And here comes a break for the Penguins. 2-on-1. Hatcher trying to get back in the play. In front is Recchi. Here's Ribnak with a save. The rebound. And he's able to clear it away. Great effort there by Washington. Back come the Penguins again. Ribnak steers to the corner. Erdina feeds to Young. Young shot goes wide. Ribnak's out of the net and he'll hold on. End-to-end action here this afternoon. A delight to the crowd. A sellout at the Capitol Center, and Jim Ribnak with a good, hard display of solid goaltending.
Some great work. The Penguins coming down on 2-on-1 and Kevin Hatcher. A nice move in front. Recchi trying to knock the puck out of the air after the rebound. The Capitals then clear it, but they don't clear it out. It comes right back to Recchi. Recchi circles out of the corner and takes a hard wrist shot, but he's getting checked from behind. Dale Hunter collapsing for the Capitals, catches him from behind. Doesn't let him get a lot of lumber on that stick, and they turn it over again, and Scott Young a drive off the foot of Kevin Hatcher. Finally, Ribnak out of the net with Recchi right on top of him, looking for any loose puck. Holds on for the faceoff.
It was 2-2 at the end of the first period. We're tied 3-3 with that 3:07 remaining here in the second. The Penguins in the midst of a 5-game road trip. They'd lost 6 straight away from the Pittsburgh Civic Arena, including the first game Friday night against New Jersey.
And it doesn't get any easier for the Penguins. They're in Los Angeles Tuesday, Vancouver Wednesday, and Calgary on Saturday. So they've got a tough schedule coming up on the road.
Hunter and Urdina. Hunter wins the draw, gets it to Iafrate around the net. The Caps defenseman sidesteps his check, throws it on the wing for Hunter at center. Hunter dumps to the corner, Leach races after it. Wendell Young out of the net, works it around on the boards. Urdina couldn't get it, Pivonka feeds to Iafrate. In front, and hops over Hunter's stick. Dale Hunter on the near side, along with Leach. Pivonka couldn't control. Wendell Young again working it around, but it's cut off by Hunter. Urdina tips it away for Bourque. A lead pass for Coffey. Coffey crosses the line, flips it ahead, but Iafrate there for Washington. He works it off the boards. Leach tied up by Coffey. That's Paul Stanton skating. A lead pass for Urdina. Sabrin has him tied up. Hunter works it high off the glass for Leach. With Pivonka, 2-on-1. Leach will let it drive, go. Young who saves the rebound, bouncing. Oh, and a good play there by Coffey to clear it away. A lead pass for Cullen. Across the line, Cullen fires a shot, and it's wide. Here on the near side, Tatarna tying up Cullen. Iafrate skates away down the left wing to center. Iafrate tries to go around Hillier, fires a shot, and it's wide on the glove side. Kyprios looking for Tippett. Tippett trying to control it. Here's a drive. Kyprios gets the puck right back. Off of Penguin behind the net. Wendell Young works it around. Cleared but not out. Lawler backhands to the corner. He takes a hit. Andy Hillier. Lead pass for Stevens with Cullen, 3-on-2. Stevens across the line. Stevens with a burst of speed around the net. Kevin Stevens with that long reach fires a shot. High through the crease, and a penalty upcoming here now. And Van Helleman calls play down, holding the call. And getting the gate there, it appears, will be Dave Tippett.
Dave Tippett for the Capitals coming back. The Penguins really working on their transition game. Both teams racing end to end. Kevin Stevens walks out of the corner at the top of the screen. Dave Tippett in front of the net with Bob Airey trying to create a screen for Kevin Stevens walking out of the corner. He throws Bob Airey down. Andy Van Helleman right there to call the holding penalty.
Minute 26 left to go here in the period. The Penguins have scored twice with a manpower advantage. They've also given up a shorthanded goal. Caps 11. Shorthanded marker of the year. And there you get a look at the power play efficiency of the two teams here this afternoon. Caps with fine effort the last time they had to kill off a minor penalty. See if they can do the same here again. Coffey at the left point. Cross ice for Murphy. Murphy tied up. Caps able to poke it away. Wrigley and Coffey. Here's Wrigley trying to break away from Coffey. Wrigley turned around, still has it, fires a backhand shot, and Coffey able to block it in front of Wendell Young. Lemieux crosses the line. Looks for Recchi and finds him. Recchi back to Lemieux. Lemieux to Coffey, a one-timer. Ribnak juggles it, it'll hold on. It was off the blocker pad, and he comes up with a glove save. Don Beaupre, injured late in the game against the Rangers. Ribnak called up from Baltimore and in the lineup today.
And Ridley with a great set of wheels, really skating well when you can beat Paul Coffey. He outraced him. Paul Coffey couldn't catch up to him without pulling him down for a penalty. Paul Coffey ends up in front of the net after chasing Mike Ridley, but Mike Ridley showing a good burst of speed. Not many players can pull away from Coffey.
Coffey certainly one of the most fluid, quickest skaters of the National Hockey League. Very smooth, very little effort. Here's Coffey on the left point. Backhands on the half board. Lemieux winds up, fakes, gets it back to Coffey. Coffey down low here to Murphy. His shot, Ribnak to save. The rebound cleared by the Capitals. Mike Ridley right on Wendell Young. 42 seconds left. 1:13 of the minor penalty to Tippett. Coffey throws it on the wing for Murphy. Murphy in deep. Has the puck off Johansson's skate. Gets it in the corner here now for Recchi. Cross ice. Here's Coffey. Winds up. Ribnak steers that one aside. Behind the net, Recchi. Gets it to Lemieux with 16 seconds left in the period. Hatcher stops that one. Comes right back to Larry Murphy. He backhands to Coffey for Recchi on the half board. Recchi turns. Gets it to Lemieux. A one-timer in front. Scores! Jaeger! power play goal for the Penguins. And a 4-3 lead.
Jaromir Jagr, the young Czech, a good three-way passing play. He picks up his 21st goal. Recchi to Lemieux, across to Jagr. Kevin Hatcher gets a piece of it, but Jagr coming in from that right side. He's a left shot. He puts it in easily on his forehand, up over top of Rivnak. But a good three-way passing play down low. A bad bounce for the Caps because Kevin Hatcher had that pass cut off from Mario Lemieux.
26th goal for the first-year Penguin.
Time of the power play goal, 1956.
1956, the power play marker.
And Rivnak down, playing the shot from Lemieux, but then it goes off Kevin Hatcher's stick, and Jagr right in front between Kevin Hatcher and Calle Johansson puts in the forehand goal.
Lemieux and Recchi draw assists. 4 seconds remain. A big goal for the Penguins here. Touch and controlled. Tarnov drive. Wendell Young to save. And it's the Penguins with the lead. The late goal, a power play goal, as the Penguins and the Caps leave the ice. It's Pittsburgh leading by a score of 4-3. This is the Home Team Sports Television Network.